Greetings folks, Dan Mac here, welcoming you to the Shred Shack. As time has gone on, I found myself more and more hard-pressed to using genre labeling. If not evident from my apprehension of the phrase trip-hop from one of my previous reviews, then certainly so with the multiple tirades that I've gone on during the podcast about the subgenreification of music, especially heavy metal. Now, I understand why labels exist and how they can be effective, but on the whole, I feel that labels are misleading and arguable. And that leads me to the case of Rahm. When I received for consideration this solo musician's EP, Between the Lines, it came under the title of progressive rock. Had I actually continued reading the email, I would have seen that it was likened to that of Genesis and King Crimson and Pink Floyd, but my mind immediately went to this. What I was treated to was this. Now, an obvious far cry from the keyboard-laden instrumental wankery that I was expecting, the first track on this EP threw me off, and as it progressed, I had a difficult time really appreciating it. The term progressive, as it relates to music, has seemingly become a catch-all, a densely populated subgenre that requires more subgenre titles to appropriately describe the artist therein. To approach this release further, I had to clean my mental slate and take a fresh look, allowing myself to hear the song for what it is and in the context of the rest of the material. As such, I have since warmed up to this song, but unfortunately it still remains the weakest track here. It's not a bad song, it's just boring, discordant, and overly long for what little it offers overall.
Welcome back to the age of miracles. See my children running.
This, I want all of this. The title track more than makes up for the previous misstep, as it basically stands as the antithesis of the opening song. Where You Are Not Alone felt like a jumble of incongruous parts, Between the Lines is a case of everything being in its right place. It encompasses what I would expect from an artist likened to the aforementioned Pink Floyd and Genesis, with everything done to perfection with grace and passion. Everything from the alarming keyboards to the saxophone solo to the vocals and lyrics exude a level of desperation, even fear, that is laid to rest when the female vocals and flute accompaniment bring a largely unsettling song to a whimsical ending. There's not much more to be said here, it's a fantastic track.
We can always make it better. It's true. Living is hard.
The shortest track on this release, Always on the Run, begins with a slow, playful demeanor, not unlike the work of Cat Stevens or mid to late career Beatles. As the song continues its crescendo, it shifts to a more dramatic tone, laden with grandiosity and highlighted by an impassioned guitar solo. Upon reaching its apex, the song abruptly returns to its previous state before ending serenely. Like the title track, Always on the Run succeeds as a good representation and reinterpretation of Rahm's apparent influences, but does so in a more concise manner.
It feels so good, more than I ever dared to know.
Now, I've opted to speak of the last two songs on the EP as one entry because, for me, they run together. Coming Home and Full For You continue and finalize the Trek's EP away from the gravity of the title track, minimizing the pomposity and building further on the more lighthearted qualities that bookended Always on the Run. Coming Home is the more sedative of the two, with its much slower pace and progression reflecting upon the ethereal elegance of the music therein. Fool For You, on the other hand, slightly picks up the pace, with the music adeptly suiting the untroubled, head-over-heels love described in the lyrics. It's different, but coy, fun, and catchy, and it caps off the release nicely.
The wind blows through my window.
As a whole, Rahm's Between the Lines EP is a solid release. After reevaluating my understanding of progressive rock, I was able to give it several fair listens, and despite my apprehension toward the opening track, I can appreciate all the elements at play here. Falling just under 25 minutes in length, the EP's shift in tone from start to finish does not feel rushed or arbitrary. And while I would love it if Rahm focused more on what made the title track so great, I can't fault the artist for forging a preferred path. Thanks for watching my review, and you can look forward to more in the near future. In the meantime, be sure to like, share, comment on, or subscribe to the Shred Shack official YouTube page or my own personal YouTube page, Adamans Templum. Check out the information below for more Shred Shack related content, as well as links to where you can find more music and information from Rahm himself. Until next time, I'm Dan Mack, and I bid you adieu.